I mean, that's at least 11 games. How tough is that for you guys?
Yeah, brutal. JK's been playing so well, and obviously such a big part of what we're doing. And he's our most athletic scorer, finisher, and he's been playing so well. So it's a tough one. We do feel good about our depth and our ability to withstand his loss. So Kyle, Moses, those guys will get more of an opportunity, and I'm excited about that.
How much more of a, I don't know if burden's the right word, but how much more does this demand of Wiggins at the wing? And obviously last night he came up big in the second half with Jonathan out, but given their skill sets, how much does it sort of shift on him?
Yeah, for sure. It puts more of the scoring burden on Wiggs' shoulders, but he's up for that. And we'll just, every game's going to feel different. Every game's going to be different based on matchups. So it's on all of us to figure out what's needed game to game. But Wiggs will definitely take on a big burden.
Steve, you have Moses Moody, whenever he plays, does well, but his minutes always seem to be kind of limited. What can he do to earn more playing time?
He's in a big logjam with a lot of guys. So last night, for example, thought he played well, but I thought Buddy and Lindy were going great, so I stayed with them. So he's just got to continue to work and play the way he plays, and he's gonna get his chance, and I think he's really played well the last few games and given us a lift. He's just got to keep doing that.
Steve, from training camp on, how much have you seen Lindy grow as a complete player, as more than just a shooter, I would say?
Well, he's had that since camp. He's got a really good knack for making plays off the dribble. As a secondary playmaker, he sees the floor really well. The ball moves quickly when he's out there. He always makes the right pass, the right play, and he's a good defender too. So Lindy is much more than just a shooter, and he's showing that.
Coach Kerr, Mike Brown hasn't made a statement since December 27 when he was dismissed, but just want to know, had you reached out to him or talked to him, since that time, and were there anything conversation had?
Yeah, Mike and I have spoken, and obviously, all that remains private, but Mike's a great friend and great coach, and I'm still in shock, with the Kings coming here tonight, in shock that he got fired. I mean, it's the job he's done the last couple of years, where that team is, where that franchise is now, compared to when he came aboard. We all go through stretch. We just lost 12 out of 15. Everybody in the league goes through stretches. Miami just lost by 35 at home to Utah. They're not firing Eric Spoelstra, right? It's like all of these issues that we face as organizations. It's a group effort, and we all share blame when things go wrong. And I just have a really hard time understanding with what Mike has done there, how that move was made, but it was made. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Steve, how do you allow yourself to even begin to project when you might have, like Brandon and Gary, when your roster might be closer to being full yet, or do you just simply stay with what you know?
Yeah, we just stay with what we know and coach the game that's impending. I think we're trying, as you know, we're trying to get to more consistent rotations, playing 9 or 10 instead of 11 or 12 like we were early in the year. But the injuries always throw things for a loop, so we have to just adapt whenever that's called for.
What is kind of the updated status of Pajemski? You guys kind of have been calling him day to day, but I think this is 4 straight in this game.
Yeah, we were hoping that he'd be able to come back tonight. Originally this was kind of the date we circled, and didn't happen. He hasn't had a setback or anything. It just he's just not quite ready, and so we'll keep him at day to day, and we'll see what that means. It could be, yeah. I mean, we'll see, but like I said, we were hoping by now he'd be out there, but abdominal strains are always a little bit tricky, and you have to be careful with them.
You mentioned Kyle earlier, obviously he's gonna get some more playing time with Jonathan out. And I know last night you talked about his professionalism and being ready. I'm curious if you can speak to his style of play. I mean, it's kind of distinctive, given his nickname, and couldn't be more different than Kuminga, right? I mean, a young guy who's just explosive, and here's a veteran who's very deliberate and,
Yeah.
calculated, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing with Kyle is his basketball IQ, his size. He's really a point forward, the way he handles and passes the ball. But he's 6'9", he sees over the defense, and then he has that pace that's unique to himself. So he's a very unique player, but a very effective player. And so we were lucky to get him, and last night showed exactly why. In a pinch, when he's been out of the rotation for 3 or 4 games, keeps himself ready, just the ultimate pro, and helps us win a game, and now he's right back in the loop. So this is why you want guys like that on your team. I put Loon in the exact same category, just professional players who help you win and then drive the culture at the same time. Huge value in that. Thanks.
Cool, thank you, appreciate that.